Welcome to another odd, I'm going to say odd again, odd episode of the Show. We are two geeks who talk about everything, except I'm by myself again this week. Um, that's why I again say it's an odd episode because it's weird for me to be here by myself and just talking to myself and answering myself. I should probably seek counseling for something like that. Landon can't be here with us. He is traveling again, and I mentioned in our previous episode, uh, my usual guest co-hosts have found themselves busy this week, so you're stuck with just me. So today, as I mentioned at the end of our previous episode, we're just kind of going to do a questionnaire kind of deal. This came from a blog post that I did some time ago, um, and it was called a Vogue parody. Now I don't know if that means that there's a list of questions that Vogue magazine asks celebrities, and this is it. I didn't research it that much. I actually, when I did this blog post several years ago, I basically stole the questions from someone else's blog post because why wouldn't I? I mean, it's so easy to have a different blog post when I can steal it from somebody else. I don't have to really think about it. So uh, I don't know how many questions I'll get through in the half hour that we have here for this episode, because there are 73 questions, and that would be incredibly boring if I made you sit through 73 questions all about me. How narcissistic is that? So, but we're gonna try. um, and while we're talking about narcissism, hey, be sure to give this a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you'll know whenever we have something new on the channel, and share it with your friends, share with your family. We want to grow our viewership, our listenership, our relationship, some other kind of ship. I don't know, but please, we certainly want you to join in the conversation. If you have any, if you want to answer some of these questions yourself and put those answers in the comments, feel free to do so. So we're just gonna start. We're gonna get through as many of these questions as we can, and when time's up, time's up. Got it? Good. Let's go. Number one: what is your usual Starbucks order? Well, I'm glad you asked. I don't go to Starbucks that often. I I just don't see the point in paying that much money for one beverage. Um, Although inflation being what it is, a beverage pretty much is expensive no matter where you go these days. Um, Also on top of that, I don't like coffee or tea all that much. Um, and I'm not a big fan of hot beverages. But I will say, if I go to Starbucks, if I have to be there and I feel obligated to get something while I'm there, I will get a caramel apple spice. It's delicious. It's like Christmas in a cup. So number two, what does your workstation look like right now? My workstation. I would assume you mean at work and not my home desk area. Uh, my office at work, I do have a pretty nice desk. Um, and it's just cluttered enough to let people know that it is a lived-in space. Uh, I need to make it look like I'm busy at all times, even when I'm not. Wank. Uh, I do have a small stack of t-shirts that I have either been given by the company I work for or have been given at events where other nonprofit organizations have been handing things out. I have a couple of bags of like dog treats and some dog food, uh, as well as some toys for my dog. He comes to work with me, so I've got to be ready to entertain him at the drop of a hat because of course, uh, his opinion is the most important one. Why should I spend time doing work when I could be playing with my dog? Other things, of course, there's a computer. I get two screens at work, which is nice. Um, there's a phone. There's, the typical officey knickknacks. I've got a stapler and a couple pairs of scissors and lots of pens, a couple of post-it notepads. Oh, and several of the Lego sets that I have built. Um, no, two of the Lego sets I've built. The DeLorean, which was my first build, and Grogu, or Baby Yoda, as he was once known. Uh, those are the two Lego builds I have sitting on my desk at work. So, um, the rest of them are here at home, which I'm pretty proud of. Number three, all-time favorite food? Question mark. Pizza. Duh. Favorite author? So I'm gonna have to say Stephen King on this one. I've read a lot of his stuff so far. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show before, but one of my bucket list items is to read everything he has written in order of publication. I'm not moving very fast on that. And even if I were, I'm not convinced I'll ever reach the end because he is still putting out new stuff, and I am still stuck in the 80s. The last, I think, Stephen King I read was Misery, and I think that's 1986. So I've still got a lot of catching up to do. Uh, what do you think of open relationships? That is a deep question, and I gotta say, I'm not a fan. To be completely honest, if that's something you're into, I really think you're fooling yourself if you think it won't turn out horribly in the end. Emotions are a tricky thing, y'all. Just don't do stuff like that. Number six, what is your favorite video game? How does one choose? This is like choosing my children, right? If we're going classic gaming, I gotta say Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. That was just a phenomenal game. It still is. The replayability of that game is unlike anything else. Um, Beyond that, Castlevania Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, was a great game, very Metroid like. And basically between Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, putting those two together, they basically created a new genre of a video game, and they call it Metroidvania, because it is it's a kind of game where it's not linear and you're going back and forth, you're exploring, you're trying to get new items, new power-ups, and you don't just go from one side of the screen to the other and face a boss and that's it. Like you're exploring a world and trying to improve your stats, I guess, before finally reaching the end. But it's not an RPG. It's not like a role-playing game, like a Final Fantasy. Um, I do love Final Fantasy. That entire series is great. Um, I'm particularly looking forward to playing Final Fantasy Rebirth or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, excuse me. That is one that it just came out recently. I believe February 29th. I've actually bought it already and downloaded it. It is on my PlayStation 5. I just have not played it yet because I'm about to go on vacation and I don't want to start it and not be able to play it for a week and then come back and have forgotten what I did. So I'm not going to start till I get back. That's called discipline, children. Uh, Also the Spider-Man games, the PlayStation Spider-Man. You got Spider-Man, you got Miles Morales, and more recently Spider-Man 2. They are fantastic. I could just turn that game on and just swing through the city without doing any of the story. It's just so much fun and kind of cathartic just to be able to just it's relaxing. All right. Number seven, guilty pleasure treat? Question mark. That's not a question. That's not even a full sentence. All right, the bakery section at Kroger has these little strawberry cream cheese bites that are amazing. They're these little pastry things. I don't know what they're called, but they're delicious. I haven't had them in a long time because A, they cost money, and B, I know they're no good for me. Favorite movie? Back to the Future. If you've listened to this podcast at all in the last few years, you gotta know Back to the Future is the greatest movie of all time. If you didn't know that, do you know me at all? Favorite book? Again, leaning on Stephen King, I gotta say The Stand. Um, except no, I don't want to say The Stand because really my favorite book of all time is The Wizard of Oz. Um, it's just such a good book. I will go back. I've reread that book dozens of times. It's so good. It's so good. Twitter or Instagram? Hello. First of all, it's not Twitter anymore. It's X. Uh, but I mean, anyway, I spend more time scrolling through Instagram. Uh, but ironically, I post more often to Twitter. Actually, I think I'm on Threads more these days. Can we count that? Is Threads like is that picking up steam? Can we go with that? Desktop or laptop? Laptop. Always got to be mobile. You never know when the end of the world's going to come, and you got to have a. You can't just pick up a computer tower, a CPU, and carry it. No, that's doesn't work. Best advice you've ever received? Well, uh, huh. Advice passed on by someone that I know personally. I don't know. All that's coming to mind for me are movie quotes, so I'm gonna take a pass on that one. Uh, 13th question. What project are you working on right now? Yeah, this is definitely for an actor, right? Some kind of celebrity. Uh, I don't know. I don't have any projects. I'm on vacation this week. So my project, I'd like to read a book, while I'm off work. Uh, I'll be sitting in the back seat of a car for many hours when we leave for South Carolina. So uh maybe I can get a book read. Maybe I can get two books read. I don't know. It's a little ambitious for somebody who hasn't finished a book in 2 years. Favorite color? That's blue. 15th question. Did you get good grades in school? Let's just say my grades in school were good enough. I did graduate. Uh 16. Dream job. Uh Honestly, I would love to be a writer for DC Comics. I would love to tell those stories, tell stories about superheroes, um, build onto their mythology in ways that maybe somebody hadn't thought about before. That'd be fun. Aside from that, it would also be fun to be like a screenwriter, um, making movies on the behind the camera kind of stuff. I'm no actor. Played any sports? No. Look at me. Do you have a degree? Yeah, I got two of them. What's my nationality? United States of American. Number 20, what is your favorite kind of blog post to do? Well, that would be the easy kind. Something like where these questions came from. Because I don't really have to think too much about writing it. At the same time, I do love writing fiction, and so it's a lot of fun for me to uh, occasionally, I'll find a word prompt, or like a sentence that starts a story, and then continuing on from that. Yeah, that kind of stuff is a lot of fun for me. But other than that, I just like to write. So give me any topic, and I love turning them into blog posts. Number 21, what do you like to collect? Uh, Growing up, I collected comic books and baseball cards, neither of which made me wealthy, as I was led to believe as a child. I remember legitimately thinking that my comic book collection I would be able to sell off someday and put my kids through college. That, in and of itself, is a laugh. Um, Not just because of how devalued all of those comic books that I collected wound up being, but because of how freaking expensive college is. I'm still paying for my college, and I graduated 20 years ago. I don't collect things. I do collect Lego now. I've fallen into that world as an adult fan of Lego. There is that. Number 22, describe yourself in 3 words: hardworking, alpha male, jackhammer, merciless, insatiable. If you know what that's from, leave a comment down below. I will send you $10. If you were a rapper, what would your rapper name be? Easy A. Duh. Who was the last person who DM'd you? DM? Is that what the kids are saying these days? DM? A direct message? Or what platform are we talking about? We talking about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook? What? I should have taken that earlier question more seriously. Honestly, I rarely get DM'd on any social platform. It's usually a text message or it's nothing, and I'm fine with that. Number 25, what is on the top of your wish list right now? Well, I mean, a stand up arcade cabinet of Ms. Pac Man is always on my wish list. But of course, now that I have opened the floodgates of Lego, I would love to get a new Lego set. I haven't had anything since I finished putting together the Avengers Tower last month. Um, I'm not saying I'm having withdrawals, but I would really like to get my hands on the Gringotts Wizarding Bank. That is a really cool looking set. I feel like that would be a good challenge to build. Um, and honestly, so last summer I put together the uh, Batcave from Batman Returns, and I would love it if someone would come up with a similar design, but for Superman's Fortress of Solitude. I think that'd be great. I don't know how those Lego engineers or whatever they are, the master builders, I don't know how they come up with the stuff they come up with. I my brain does not, I can't do what they do in the Lego movie and just see, different pieces and put them together in my mind to, oh, that would make a perfect Fortress of Solitude. I can't do that. I wish I could, because I would build the crap out of that thing in a heartbeat. Sorting house. Okay, this, I assume, is a Harry Potter related question, and asking, if the sorting hat were to choose, which house at Hogwarts would I be placed in? Well, the answer is Ravenclaw, and I feel like that's fairly obvious. Number 27, how many tattoos do you have? Goose egg. I got no tattoos. It's not the pain that bothers me, it's the commitment. Number 28, what are you most grateful for this year? This year, well, it's 2024. We're only a couple of months into the new year. What am I most grateful for? I'm still grateful for the job I have. I love where I work. It is a fantastic work environment. I've never experienced anything like it, anything similar to where they actually care about you as an individual, and care about your well-being, and they want you to, when they talk about a work-life balance, they want you to stress the life part of that work-life balance. They do not want you to um, give up your health for the job, that kind of thing. That's not what this is about. It's like, if you don't get something done, that's what tomorrow is for. So, I mean, obviously, you can't just slack off every day, but it's you don't. I'm never concerned about not meeting a deadline, if that makes sense. All right, number 29. What is the best thing that's happened to you this month? Well, it's March 4th when I'm recording this. Uh, so far, not a whole lot's been happening. But I am going on vacation. I technically vacation started when I got off work Friday. But I'm leaving for the beach tomorrow. Not much of a beach person, but I mean, vacation is vacation. I'm getting the week off, and so I'm going to, uh, yeah, I'm going to enjoy that. That will be the best thing that happened to me this month. I'm pretty sure. Plus, my birthday is coming up this week as well, so it'll be fun. What's the best thing that happened to you today? Well, I I don't know. Today I didn't go to work, so that was fun. Uh, I cleaned house a lot. I I took my dog to a friend of mine who's going to be watching him for the week. And when I texted her to check and see how he's doing, apparently he doesn't miss me at all. So that's heartbreaking. That's not the best thing that happened to me. That's the worst thing that happened to me today. Let's move on. Number 31. What's the best thing ever? Well, best thing ever. I would say waking up after the perfect amount of sleep. You wake up feeling refreshed. You're not forced to wake up because of an alarm. You don't feel worse than you did when you fell asleep for the first time. That's it. Number 32, favorite season? Hmm. I'm gonna go with season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Number 33, favorite cereal. It's a toss up between Frosted Flakes or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think I'm gonna go with the Frosted Flakes though. It had more of a hold on my childhood, I think. Number 34. What fictional character do you relate to the most? Fictional character do I relate to the most? Um, that's a tough one. Ever since I got bit by that spider, I'd have to say Peter Parker. Do you like surprises? Not particularly. Number 36. What's the biggest surprise you ever had? I just told you I don't like surprises. No, from 40th anniversary, 40th anniversary of my birth. I was surprised to have a surprise birthday party thrown for me. Didn't see it coming because it was a week after my actual birthday. Never ever would have seen that coming. I just thought people forgot it was my birthday. It's 40. It was a big deal. And then the week after that, everything shut down because of COVID. It was really good timing on our part. What's a surprise that made you cry? First of all, you have to have tear ducts to be able to cry. I'm just kidding. I cry at everything. I'm such a baby. But nothing that's like moved me to tears of joy. And I don't know if there have been any surprises in my life that were hurtful to the point of making me cry. I'm pretty sure I've repressed those memories. So I don't know. I don't know if ever been a surprise that made me cry. Now when I watch those videos of um parents in the military coming home and surprising their kids like at school or something, every time I'm crying like a baby. Oh, it doesn't even matter. I don't care if there's people watching me. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna cry at those. Number 38, what's the best surprise you've ever given someone? I'm sorry, y'all. Gifts are not really a part of my love language. I'm not a gifts person. More of an acts of service, and maybe that's what a surprise may fall under. I don't know, but yeah, I don't I'm not good at surprises, giving or receiving. Number 39. Do you like muffins? What kind of question is that? Do you like muffins? Yeah, especially if they got blueberries in them. Those are the best. All right. I'm going to wrap this up with number 40. I know we have 73 questions, but I'm sure some of you, if you're still with us, God bless you. If you've fallen asleep, wake up. But number 40 is, do you cook often? I cook more often than I used to. I do like having my own kitchen. I mean, if you live on your own, you do have your own kitchen. I do like cooking things for myself. Although it is hard sometimes being a single person cooking for oneself because there are no recipes for one person. There are always leftovers. You just can't get past that. Um, so yeah, I do enjoy cooking. I enjoy experimenting with recipes. When I see something pop up on TikTok or um really any other social media, if it's a recipe and somebody's showing you how to cook something, especially if it's in a crock pot, I save that. I save it. I watch it again later. I think, man, maybe I could put that together. And a lot of the times I'll give it a shot. Um, my favorite recently is a crock pot cheesy chicken noodle melt thing. I don't know. It doesn't have a title, but it's pasta and it's got marinara and Alfredo sauce, um, chicken, and lots of cheese. It's delicious. You should try it sometime. All right. That is all I'm gonna do. Again, I'm leaving 33 questions out, but you've suffered enough for one day. I do hope that you have at least been slightly entertained by this episode, where again I'm by myself. That will be different next week. Landon is coming back, and we are going to be discussing Return to Oz, um, and Ted Lasso. Those are our next two episodes. So I do hope that you'll come back. I hope that you'll share this with your friends and family. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I mean, I know we ask that you like the episode every time. I know everybody does on these YouTube videos, right? Or, well, I mean, you could be listening to this on Spotify, but I can't tell you how much it would help our channel if you like it or give us a review. Um, it would help the algorithm to know that we've been seen. So I would appreciate it. I know Landon would appreciate it. So just it doesn't cost you anything. Go down there, click the button, and then you give a little thumbs up. It's great. It's easy to do. All right, that is all we've got time for, kids. I hope that you have a great whatever it is wherever you are.